Today, I'm going to show you how to take a Harbor Freight engine stand and modify it to accept a Honda CB motor or a GS Suzuki motor. Really easy to do, and the motor stand itself only costs like 60 bucks. So this is something you can very easily afford and do in your own garage. And believe me, it's very well worth it to have an engine stand to work on these guys. That way you manipulate it, turn it around. Up here on the table, it just rocks back and forth, and it's really a pain in the butt. So having an engine stand where you manipulate the engine a lot better makes it much easier to work on. So let's get started on this. Okay, we got everything cut and drilled and deburred. Now you'll have to have two different drill size holes. You'll have to have a 3/8 on one end, 1/2 inch on the other. The reason why is because mounting sizes are different. Also, your all thread. Now you can get this at any hardware store along with your bolts and everything else that you see here. This needs to be cut to 9 inches or 10. It really doesn't make any difference. I would stay at least the length of 9. Don't go under that. Now, I don't use lock washers or regular washers. I just use nuts for this. It's not moving around or anything like that. So, you know, if you want to use lock washers, go ahead and use lock washers. Now, the length of bolts that I'm using are 4 inch. That's because I already had them. And because of that, I'm having to use spacers. Now, 3 inch will work just fine. Actually, I wish I had 3 inch. That way I wouldn't have to make spacers. But let's go ahead and get this thing together. Okay, this is pretty much self-explanatory, but I'll be talking to you while I'm doing it. Just put a nut on, get a piece of angle iron, and make sure we're putting it in the right direction, just like this. Slide this through. Another piece of angle iron, 3/8 inch side, and put our nut on. Just firm it up so you move it around. After you get it on the mount, you can go ahead and tighten up all the bolts, all the fittings and everything. But for right now, we're just going to firm everything up. Hand tight anyway, so they don't move around on us. Okay, same thing on the bottom side. All right. Okay, that's what we're looking for right there. Now let's go ahead and put the straps on it. Some of my diesel's leaking out, diesel/oil. Hey guys, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, go ahead and ding that notification bell. That way you'll know when my next video is coming out, especially for the GS 550 series build that I'm doing right now. actually, this is really nice now because there's a cool feature. All engine stands have them, and at least I think they do. The ones I've seen have. And it's this little pin that's an indexing pin. And so you pull it out, and you can rotate the engine at certain degrees to work on it, or spill oil out on the floor like I'm doing. But takes a little bit of manpower. Maybe I need to grease that up some. But this is really a needed item. If you're going to work on motors, well, if you're going to work on these motors, or any motor, definitely an engine stand is well worth it. Yeah, this makes my job much easier. Yeah, it's definitely sturdy though. Now I can finally get the head off. Okay guys, I just want to give you a close-up of what this looks like. You can see how my placement is on the angle iron, the oil thread and everything. Actually, this angle iron, you could get away with 1.5 inch lengths. It would fit better, but it still works. I mean, this setup is a great idea. Now, I want to give credit where credit is due, and that's Taylor over at Classic Octane. I did not ask his permission to give him a shout out. I don't think he'll mind, but I saw this stand in one of his videos. He didn't really elaborate on it that much, and I thought that was a fantastic idea. So I went ahead and put one together myself, and I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to do it, and it's really inexpensive, actually. So now I have a sturdy platform to work on my engine without it flopping around all over the table and, you know, getting it out of the frame. I don't have to work on it inside the frame, which can't really do that with what I want to do to this motor, which I have to tear it all apart to find out why it's freezing up. So I don't know. Maybe I'll luck out and there'll be something minor, but you know, if it's not, I can pick up another motor, get parts off it, or just use that motor. Anyway, if you look down below, you'll see a few more of my other videos in a playlist or something. So check those out, and I'll see you guys next week.